see this example. Let capital A equal to set of all real numbers minus 3. Okay, so they will just describe what OR means. Here I am just giving you what OR is, but in exam they will describe what OR is. So capital A equal to set of all real numbers minus 3, which means every number is present in A except the number 3. And capital B equal to set of all numbers, real numbers, minus 1. Right? A function f from A to B is defined by f of x equal to x minus 2 divided by x minus 3. Which of the following is true? Now, if A is set of all numbers, minus 3, this is set of all real numbers, but it will not contain 3. Except 3, it will contain everything. And B is set of all real numbers minus 1, which means except 1 it will contain all the other numbers, and f is a function from A to B, right? If that is the case, then they are asking what type of function is this function f. So see this, now f is a function which is defined by x minus 2 divided by x minus 3, then which of the following is true? So is it 1 to 1 or on to or both or none, right? So let's test it. Let us assume that let's see whether it is 1 to 1 function or not. So how to find out whether it is 1 to 1 function or not is, we have to prove it by contradiction. The contradiction is this way: a function may not be 1 to 1 if we have two elements in A in such a way that both of them will have same image in B. If this is the case, right, then we can say that it is not 1 to 1 function. Now we'll assume that there are two such elements A and B, okay, for which we have the same image. Let's call this image, either you can call it as f of A or f of B, let's say. And now we have to show that two such elements will exist. If we can show that two such elements exist, then we can say that it is not 1 2. If we can show that these two elements doesn't exist, and in fact these two elements are also equal, in case if their images are equal, we can show that it is 1 1. Fine. Now first of all, is it really a function or not? So what do I mean by that? Will every element in this set, will every element have an image there, right? So it is already given that it is a function, so you need not really test it, but just for the sake of explanation or just for the sake of practice, I want to ask you this question, whether this is a function or not, right? It is going to be a function only when for every point in A this value exists, isn't it? So it need not be different, this value should exist, that's it. Now if you look at this function, if you look at this expression, for every value of x there will be some real number existing in such a way that you can find the real number, but then only for one value no real number will exist. That value is 3. That is the reason we are excluding the value 3. So in case if you have value 3 in this set A, it is not going to be a function. The reason is you try to find out the image for value 3 in A, because for every element present in this real number set we should have an element there. When you try to find out the image for 3, it does not exist, it will not exist, then it will fail to be a function. That is the reason why they have subtracted 3. So we don't have 3 in the real number set, and for the remaining elements we have the images. Now let's try to test whether it is 1 to 1 or not. For this reason, I'll assume that it is not 1 to 1, which means I'll assume that there are two elements A and B in such a way that f of A equal to f of B. Now what could be f of A? F of A is going to be, I'm just substituting in place of x, A. See this, in this expression, in place of x, I'm just substituting A. Then what do I get? F of A is A minus 2 divided by A minus 3 is equal to f of B. I'm just assuming that there are two elements A and B in such a way that their images are same. Then A minus B, A minus 2 minus A minus 3 equal to B minus 2 by B minus 3. What does it mean? It means that A minus 2 into, I'm just cross multiplying, right? B minus 2 into A minus 3. What does it mean? It is going to be AB minus 3A minus 2B plus 6 is equal to AB minus 3B minus 2A plus 6. Now AB get cancelled, 6 get cancelled. Now what can you see? You can see that A equal to B from this. Therefore, in case if two images are equal, then we are getting that these two elements are actually equal, which means there is no possibility for two different numbers or two different elements in the set A to have the same element as the image in set B. In case if it happens, those two elements are actually one and the same. Therefore, we can say that since no two elements will have the same image in B, we can say that it is 1 1. Therefore, the function f is 1 1. Okay, fine. Now let's test whether it is onto or not. So what do I mean by onto? For every element in B, there should be a pre-image in A, right? Now let's see that. Now let us say for every element, let me take a element Y. Just for example, let us take element C. Okay, let us assume that C is present in B, and C can be anything other than 1, because 1 is ruled out, 1 is taken out, right? B does not, this set B does not contain 1. So let us say C is a variable which can be any of these elements, right? Then I want to find out for every C there exists an element in this in such a way that the image is going to be that. Let us say C is some element in B, and I am assuming that there is some element X here in such a way that image of X is going to be C. So for every C, if it is satisfied, then it is enough to say that every element in B is going to get an image in an element in A in such a way that image of that particular element is equal to that C. Okay, so now if image of C, if some element is there and the image of this X has to be C, then what should it be? Then X minus 2 by X minus 3 should be equal to C, isn't it? Now I want to find out such X present in A. Are you getting the proof? I'm just assuming, I'm just taking a variable here. Okay, now what I want to show is for every element present in B, there should be an element present in A in such a way that image of that element is equal to this element, right? So for that reason I am assuming some element C here and some element X here. I am just assuming that for this element C, X must be the element whose image is equal to C. Now I want to show that for every C, for every element in B, there will exist at least some X in such a way that image of X is equal to C. Now I want to find out what that element X could be, right? So see this. Now I want to find out what could be X. X minus 2 equal to Cx minus 3C. What does it mean? It means that X minus Cx equal to 2 minus 3C. That implies if you pull out X as common, 1 minus C equal to 2 minus 3C. What does it mean? X equal to 2 minus 3C divided by 1 minus C. What does it mean? For every element C, there will exist a X such that once you find out this expression, right, such an X will have C as a value, right? For example, if you want to find out what could be the corresponding element for 1 here, which means what is the element, okay, see this. So will all the elements exist? Just see this one, it is interesting. See, now we found out that for every element C, there exists an X which is present in A in such a way that image of X equal to C, right? But then except one element we can find it. So what is that exception? 1. The reason is once you try to substitute 1 in place of C, you will get an infinity, which means there will be no pre-image for the element 1. That is why even if you see this, they have subtracted the element 1. Therefore it is not a problem. So other than 1, for every other element we can find out the pre-image by using this formula. Got it? You can give me any element, I'll just substitute in place of C that element, and I can tell you what its pre-image of that element according to this function. Then we can say that definitely it is a onto function. The reason is every element in B is having a pre-image. So it is already 1 1, and now we have shown that it is onto. So what can we say? Since it is 1 1 and onto, we can say that it is a bisection. So F is a bisection. Okay.
Hi, if you are planning to do masters, then doing masters abroad is better than doing masters in India. I'll give you all the reasons. So, first reason is, out of 1 lakh students who take GATE every year, there are only 500 seats in old IITs. So all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%, and IITs, universities better than IITs, they have very good acceptance rate like 30%, 40%, but all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%. And if you are working hard to get into IIT Bombay's ranking is 177 and IIT Roorkee's ranking is 400. If you are happy to get into IIT Roorkee, then getting into university is better than IIT Roorkee is easier compared to getting into IIT Roorkee. And looking at the salaries for computer science, for software jobs, if you have done your masters in computer science in US, the salaries are ranging from 80 lakhs per year to 1.2 crore per year. So even if you take an average of 1 crore per year, your savings will be much higher than the salaries in India. After taxes and your cost of living, you can easily save 40 to 50 lakhs per year. And in India, the maximum jobs that you get is around 30 lakhs. So your savings will be much greater than the salaries in India. And these are all the services that we provide. University shortlisting. So depending on your profile, we will shortlist what are the universities that you have to apply, and statement of purpose building, and then LOR guidance, and GRE and English test assistance, and education loan assistance. So you don't have to have any collateral, which means without any security, now you can get education loan. Getting education loan is very simple these days, and whatever the amount of fee that you have a range of universities. You can apply for 10 lakh universities, 20 lakh universities, or 50 lakh universities. But whatever it is, you are going to get complete education loan, and you can pay off your education loan in 1 year after you get a job. And then we do visa assistance, mock visa interviews, and then connecting with the university alumni. So now you might ask why we should join Game of Visas. So the answer is we have 90% success rate, 99% success rate. And these are all the destinations that we guide the students to. So we guide students to any country that you want to go. So now it is not just USA. We guide to UK, Germany, Australia, Canada. So we guide students to all the countries. We work with all the destinations. And if you are interested in going abroad, you have to just drop us a message on this WhatsApp number 9494 555 454. Okay, thank you.